Good morning, everyone. Morning after the day before the day after the Forest game. I didn't get to watch the whole game, but if any of you follow me on social media on X, that now is, you'll have seen that at the time I was traveling back on a coach in Spain, so I managed to watch most of the second half. But as you can imagine, it was broken the reception, the signal I had. And I missed the first half. Needless to say, I literally caught it for the highlights or low lights of the first half. Couldn't believe it when I realised we were 2-0 down within 4 minutes. I've watched the highlights back now a couple of times. Quite a few times, actually. I've watched the goal probably 10, 15 times. I didn't see the first goal straight off the back of our own corner. I didn't see how the game started, but obviously the fact that we had a corner in 2 minutes suggested things started off okay. I've literally not seen the kickoff, but I guess it wasn't that great. And then obviously, when you look at it, what I can't understand is if Onana's going to play this like super sweeper keeper, he's either got to be really off his line, ready to receive that. But if he would have been, then you would have just chipped him from halfway, or at least took the effort. It's not an easy goal to take. We've seen that. We know that. But he would have at least had the free shot, which we saw pre-season. So maybe they've decided against that. But what I can't understand is why we had, in the second minute, 10 players pretty much in the box, in and around the box. No one back defending, no one in our own half, no one to prevent the counter-attack. It just made no sense. It just seemed like we were desperate to score, desperate to lift the roof off Old Trafford. It just didn't seem to make sense. I couldn't understand the tactics. There was nothing to fight against it. And when you watch it back, Wan-Bissaka is the first to react to the initial header against a One-U, but he's got no chance because the One-U's probably got about a foot on him. And his pace, where he pulled that from. So your three players tracking back was Rashford, Anthony, and Eriksen. Where was the defence? Where were they? Because when the ball goes in the back of the net, when Rashford catches up on him because he's fast, we know he is. Once he's in the box, he knows he can't bring him down in the second minute of a game. He makes the right decision. If that is, say, Wan-Bissaka, we saw him against Crystal Palace last season against Zaha with that fantastic scissor tackle. If he's back defending as a defender, he makes that tackle, I believe. I'm not saying he'd have got back at the pace of a One-U, but he certainly would have been. If he'd been playing deeper, he'd have had a better chance. He'd have got back. He'd have had a chance of making that scissor tackle. Likewise, when a One-U plays that first touch, which takes him over the halfway line, it's a really good touch. It's not too heavy. It's not too far in front of him. It's far enough in front of him to be able to use pace and have the ball clear in front to be able to make the run. And he uses his pace well. He slows down in front of the keeper well, but then Onana, it's almost like is uncertain whether he's going to come off his line or whether he's going to. You see him just backpedaling a little bit. So he's already made a decision to come off his line, but then start to retreat. And no, I'm not saying Onana is not the goalkeeper for us. I just think he needs time to settle in the Premier League. He's got a lot of learning. I do believe that potentially De Gea would have had a chance of saving that. And I'm not saying we go back to De Gea because we know all the positives that Onana brings, but you do make those comparisons, don't you? I just can't. As I say, my first question on that first call is, where was the defence? Why was nobody in our own half, on the halfway line? Any of those two things, I just couldn't understand it at all. And the second goal, 2 minutes later, I didn't see again what led to the free kick for them, but obviously it was off our own kickoff as they just scored, and 2 minutes later we'd give a free kick away on the edge of our box. So whether it was because we were rattled or what, I don't know. It was in the left position, so I'm assuming it was a Dalot kick, but I'm only assuming because it was the left side. free kick could have easily been Casemiro or Rashford on the left or anything like that. I don't know. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what happened. I mean, I will be watching the games back when I get home. But yeah, not yet. I've not seen it, so let me know. And then what bothered me about the second goal was when you watch it back again, Bolly doesn't appear to jump at all for a header in the box. So my question again, where was the defence? It looks as though it goes over Martinez's head. Casemiro's left marking Bolly, and Varane is behind him. Now either Varane can't see the flight of the ball, or he's been told to mark zonally, which I don't believe he's done that, or he's just not moved for the ball. But Casemiro, whether he couldn't see it, I don't know whether he's in the wrong position. I just can't work it out. Casemiro didn't jump. Bolly didn't jump. Bolly just landed on his head. Bang, back of the net. No chance. Could Onana have come off his line and come for it? I don't know. I suppose the problem is if he's going to do that, somebody flicks it on at the front post, back of the net, isn't it? So it's a difficult one for keepers. It was a good free kick, but at the same time, it was very, very bad defending. Then obviously, I've only seen the highlights of the first half, so I saw Rashford going into the box, making a run, making the difference, getting the ball across to Eriksen, and it was great to see Eriksen in that position where we're hoping to see Højlund a lot in the next game against Arsenal. In and around the box, making those runs, leaving your defender. Great finish, put us back in the game, changed the atmosphere. Obviously, 2-1 half time. Goes in, half time 2-1 down. Heads lifted a little bit, and atmosphere lifted a little bit, but still very disappointed after a poor first half. Second half, again, as I say, I saw most of it, but I did lose part of it during the break in my travels. It was good to see Casemiro get the goal. I do feel he was partly at fault, partly for his second goal. So it was good to see him kind of get that back, but it was also good to see him back in amongst the goals. Things that he was doing last season. And I know he wasn't bought as a goal scorer, but you know, when the goal scorers aren't scoring, the team's got to perform. The team's got to pull up and work as a team and do everything they can. Everyone defends, everyone attacks, everyone tries to score. Yeah, I think we're just at the moment, we just feel like we're looking at individuals as opposed to a team. Saw Anthony doing a little bit of good footwork, dribbling inside and forcing it, getting a really good shot off and forcing a save out the keeper. So that's all I've seen of one of Anthony. I know Anthony's been slated all over social media, so it was kind of good to see him getting a shot on target, a good one as well. They bring a good save out the keeper. If he'd gone top corner, he wouldn't stand a chance, but bottom corner, fair play, he was on target. But I don't know how the rest of his game went, so I can't really comment too much. With regard to the sending off, I think it's one of them that if the referee didn't give it, it wasn't clear and obvious to be overturned. But because the referee had give it, it wasn't clear and obvious to be overturned. So I think it was the right decision. When you see Bruno is through, but there is, I think it's Bolly coming through just to the left of Worrell, but then just to the right of Bruno is Sancho. So potentially Bruno could have just had to tap it very gently, either took a shot himself or just took a very small touch to Sancho, and Sancho's free, unmarked in the box to get a free shot off. So I do believe it's a goal scoring opportunity. And again, it wasn't clear and obvious to be overturned. Same with the penalty. Seen them given all last season, seen them waved away. I think if the referee waves it away at first, it doesn't get overturned. I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit more unsure on that. But then when you watch it back, he does catch him with his knee, which knocks him off balance. And anyone who's ever played football, if you're running at full pace, and somebody knocks you, or any sports, you know, you only see Olympic runners running around a pitch. Somebody gets knocked slightly and they fall over. That's because you've got a natural running, haven't you? And then obviously if somebody catches your leg or whatever, it knocks you, and then you go off balance. And then the very last second, as Rashford's already off balance, his foot does catch him. I think it was Danilo. Danilo, I think his foot does just catch Rashford's standing foot as well. So to me, it is a double hit. It is a penalty. But I have seen similar things waved away last season, which was then not overturned because it wasn't clear and obvious. So again, I think it was the right result in the end. But what was sad to see from what, as I say, I was watching it on a coach. But what was sad to see was we were hanging on at the end. It looked to me we were hanging on against 10 men of Forest with the last 15 minutes. We had a couple of chances to go to the other end and score, but it did also look like they had more chance of scoring in the last 15 minutes. That's my thoughts. At the end of the day, 3 games in, 6 points. And I would say that we're lucky when you watch the games, the highlights, what's happened. We're lucky to have any points. We could be right at the bottom with Everton, but we're not. The league is what it is. The points are what they are. Out of 3 games, we've got 6 points. And that's what we can take from it. We've got a chance to reset. We've got a couple of, a little bit of time now before we go to the Arsenal game. We'll have Højlund back. I say back, yeah, we'll have Højlund with us. We'll have had a chance to train. I don't believe he's going away for international because obviously of his injury. And part of you wonders if that's the reason that Ten Hag didn't play him yesterday, for the simple reason to say he's still injured, not ready, and he's able to play that card as well. So yeah, just a little bit of a thought on that on Højlund. And yeah, hopefully, from what we're reading in the press, it does appear like Amrabat will finally get over the line. Fiorentina he's not training with them, he's not playing with them. So the problem with that is, while it's great that we might finally get Amrabat over the line, he's not been training, has he? So hopefully we can get it done like in the next day or two. We can have a week or 2 of him training. He's not been injured. He's just not been training. It's simple as that. So yeah, it'd be good to get him over the line, and possibly one more would be great. I think obviously there's going to be a few more ins and outs over the next few days. Hopefully we'll see a bit more of that. But that's my thoughts. So yeah, overall, elated with the 3 points, disappointed with the performance. Next one is the Emirates against Arsenal. I think it's at the Emirates. Huge game. And yeah, obviously Arsenal will be smarting after losing the 3 points yesterday in the 87th minute, I think it was, when they conceded. So yeah, I think they'll be disappointed, and they'll be wanting to come out to make a difference. So yeah, onto the next game. Put this aside, learn from our mistakes, sort our defence out, and yeah, hopefully be back stronger. 6 points, 3 games.